backup. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up, 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one, made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. Jameis now on first down. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Houston. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming.
And now it's blocked. The Cowboys pick it up. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Here we go. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
He finds Humphreys. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kareem Hunt. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. Randall Cobb on the break breakaway. The 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. He goes 95 yards to the house on the kick return as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. Showing off that speed and electric boost that he has. 95 yards that kick return goes down for. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and that'll bring up second down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do, and we're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
They'll run with Hunt on second down, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said,
here we go.
you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete to John Ross. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
25, check 25, check 25.
From the 29, Garoppolo. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 12-yard line.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
Here we go. Like 20. Hey, tight down. There you go.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. Flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
He's got it. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're going to to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that...
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Christian McCaffrey hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Walsh adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And so we have the touchdown now. Here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, and he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big-time play there for the Texans. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
He's got his big tight end, Fant, and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. He'll get it up the middle. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And the 13-year man puts it through. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo. He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. John Ross, 77 yards. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. He's done his part, but so far it's been in a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
But so far he's north of 100 yards receiving. 19 yards there on the catch and run. To throw, Winston.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. Completes this one to Meredith. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 28. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Winston. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Jameis to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
This is Hunt on the draw play. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first, this now from 46 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point up and good by Walsh. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. This is taken at his 4. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where you see the final score there. Trent Taylor, big numbers, 4 touchdown catches. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. A touchdown the difference. 21-14, the final score. Finally, let's get over to Carson. See what's happening with the Chargers at home at Dignity Health Sports Park. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, pick your game up.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
21.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he's got Snead. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace.
Here we go.
Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This is McCaffrey. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had. Thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
21.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They go play action. Winston. And Winston lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. The 30, 20, 10, 5, and they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. McCaffrey. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. So often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They run again with Hunt. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in preview.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now left side on the swing pass.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Winston. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
3 bucks. Let me go.
A first down throw for Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Winston. It's caught by Treadwell. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here's Winston. He's got his tight end Fant. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw is Winston. And he completes it to Hunt. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Winston. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offense coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's McCaffrey, and an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. McCaffrey. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Joey Bosa in on the stop. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Cowboys, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And they'll get another road date next week.